Hello everyone, this is LeonStarcraft here, going to be bringing you another replay analysis video here between SjoW, the Red Terran on Crevasse, versus Lalush, who was in the last video that I brought to you, who played against Select on Shakura's Plateau, which was a very interesting game. I haven't seen too much of him, but now I'm getting a great opportunity to watch some more games, or more replays of him in the recent ladder games. I mean, this one isn't on the ladder pool just yet, so this one must have been some sort of tournament. I'm not too sure what tournament it was, or if it was just a practice game, but we do have SjoW. He is going to be on the top right corner of the map Crevasse, I do believe it's called. And yeah, this is a nice big open map, as you can see. This is a GSL map, for you guys who are not aware. Surely, if you're watching this, you're definitely aware that this is a GSL map, because it's pretty famous right now, and Lalush is a Zerg player, and he will definitely be, looking to expand early on to these two locations. So with the Terran, I mean, in the GSL, it's kind of turned into this macro-orientated games where, the Terrans need to catch up to like the Zergs and the Protoss, especially on bases, so they expand, and sometimes double expand, and we've seen in the GSL most recently. But anyway, we do have SjoW. He's going to be over here. He's going to be creating his first barracks just by this ramp. As you can see, this ramp is rather wide, although half of it is blocked off by some destructible debris. No, it's not destructible rocks. Not too sure what the difference is there. I think they have less HP, but I could be completely wrong in saying that. I probably am. But in any case, we do have a drone from Lalush just scouting about. He has an overlord going to the bottom left-hand side location, and we have this drone making its way to the top right. So this drone is going to find SjoW, the Red Terran, who is doing superbly well recently and got pretty far in the IEM. Did get knocked out in the tiebreaker, I believe, between I want to say Ace and Sake. I believe that was the three-way tiebreaker. Although I'm probably wrong again saying that. But SjoW is definitely a top player. Definitely coming to the light over the last few months as one of the best in Europe, and is going to be participating in a lot more top tournaments from Team Dignitas as well. So it's great to see him in some of these games. So we do have that early hatchery from Lalush. He's going to be placed over here as well, and getting its first gas just after the spawning pool. A lot of the times we do see Zerg go for pool first, for gas first, which allows them to get their speeding upgrade so much quicker. We do have a gas tail by Lalush here, which is going to make it very annoying here for this Marine. This one lonely Marine has that job of trying to take down the extractor until his buddy comes over to give him a little hand. As you can see, they're not even going to shoot it from a distance. They're just going to put the gun inside of the extractor and just shoot vigorously to try and kill that. So this one Marine as well, going to be scouting about, going to be having a look around. Expansion does go down for SjoW, around about the 22 supply mark, so that is a relatively fast expand against a Zerg. But on this map, like I said, you can get away with it. Now SjoW could lose this Marine. Yep, he does. Wow, doesn't even take out a Zerg, and that one Zerg gets away with 1 HP. This barracks has been placed down with a reactor add-on, so he's going to be able to crank out dual Marines, unless he's going to swap with the factory and get dual Hellions, which is definitely a possibility, because a lot of Terrans have been doing that in ladder recently, just getting them Hellions out, trying to establish some sort of map control. I think he is going to be doing that. Yep, that's exactly what he is doing. This one Hellion is now out, so he's going to use him just to dart around the map a little bit. Going to take out, no, he's going to shoot at that Zerg, but he's not going to worry about it too much. There are 2 Marines to take care of him if he does try to do anything too serious or optimistic from his part. This one Hellion is making his way across the map right now, so we can see this icy landscape, which is, it's actually a very nice texture. I do like this map. I haven't played on it all too much, but it's, it's a nice map to play on. I would love to see it in the map pool, and this Hellion does see a Roach Warren, so it's going to be a nice little giveaway of the tech pattern that Lalush is going through. He sees it with the Hellion, so he doesn't have to waste a scan on it. That Hellion does get taken out. Nice little spread of the Roaches by Lalush as soon as them 4 Roaches come out. Managed to spread 2 up just so that Hellion was never ever going to get out there and tell his buddies of what's going on. This one Hellion going to take the Zelnaga tower, taking out that Zerging rather easily. Another one is here. So like I said, he's just using these Hellions just to gain map control, and these Roaches now are making their way across the map. Look at them just little twiddling along there, being very very slow, of course, without the speed upgrade. The Hellion at the Zelnaga tower decides to retreat a little because he sees the impending doom, because Hellions do so bad against Roaches. I mean, Roaches are just so good against Hellions. They just they just take no damage at all. But we do see this command center over here. It's going to be changed into an orbital commander. He's throwing down additional barracks and an armory as well. We do see one roach. Well, no, one roach gets out. He takes out a Hellion. So as you can see, that's what I mean by the insanely strong roaches. But there are a few marauders out here that do bonus damage against armored units. And no, they are not doo-doo. Marauders are pretty good. But these roaches are going to try and take out this destructible debris and just make life a bit tough for SjoW. Just going to put a little bit of pressure on. I don't think he's going to commit to anything and go up the ramp. He does have a sizable force to be able to do some damage, and well, he actually is going to go up there, but I think he will just back out when he sees all these marauders, and that's exactly what he's going to do. That Overlord there was getting taken out by 2 Marines, but managed to escape with 8 HP. So that is a baller Overlord right there. He is so happy right now. He's now King of Overlords. He's going to get like the little purple heart or whatever Overlords get for their heroics. I think Overlords need a lot more respect, because a lot of people say, oh yeah, we're just going to sack an Overlord. Yeah, let's just suicide an Overlord to get some scouting information. These are living things, these things, you know. Not the prettiest specimens, but they're still living creatures nevertheless. So we have actually Lalush taking down his own destructible debris. That's a pretty nice idea. So it, you know, stops SjoW from using it against Lalush, like because there was a very small choke entrance there. So if he was to set up some siege tanks or whatever here, he would not have to run down a narrow passageway in order to get to his opponent. And he is going to actually take down these destructible rocks over here. Now this definitely suits Zerg. I mean, because taking down as many destructible rocks, so there's as many entrances as possible. I mean, Zerg is a more mobile race, especially if you go on some sort of mech play. And we do see Thor's on the way. Let's use that production tab. We do see Thor's on the way, so it's not going to be overly mobile, especially not like as mobile as Speedlings are. So it's going to suit the Zerg to be able to do this, just make as many passageways as he can, so he can get some flanks off. And he is getting his 3rd base down here now, his 2nd expo. And this is Hellion does go down to the Zelnaga, so the Speedlings now taking back a little bit of their, you know, a little bit of the map control from what the Terran had earlier. SjoW now making his 3rd command center, very nice timings, wants to keep up on expansions with the Zerg, and if you can do that as a Terran, you're probably going to be ahead. And now just a few missile turrets going up. Actually, being supply blocked here by SjoW, and this is never a good situation. And is there actually a supply depot on the way? Wow, there is only a supply depot being started to create now, so this is pretty an epic supply block right now. This could have such ramifications on the army count, and it does, 86 to 93 and rising. So SjoW could be a little bit behind just in terms of his overall macro, but I don't think it's going to be game changing, but it is a little detrimental to his chances in this game. As we can see from this expansion over at the top, there is only one refinery, like only one gas geyser. That is to, I mean, it allows you to get some mineral. I'm sure there's less mineral patches as well. So it allows you to get some early minerals, but if you want to get some gas, you're going to have to expand outside, so less, you know, not as safe. So it does kind of promote aggressive expanding, and that is a player that we like to see in StarCraft 2 right now. So we see he's just moving out to this expansion over here, as there are 2 gas geysers there. He moved his Marines and Marauders down with his command center. That Thor has now just popped out, so Thor is here, and we do have some mutas on the field right now. They fly so fast, as you can see. So they're just flying across right there. They're gonna try and do some harassment at the natural expansion. There is one missile turret here, but these mutas could just target fire that missile turret and take it out, no problem. You're gonna get a lot of SCVs, some shots going off from that missile turret. And the Thor comes over to do extra damage and takes out one muta, so one muta does bite the dust. Sorry Mutalisk, you were just not fast enough there to get away from them shots from the Thor, as Thor is beastie as hell, has 1 upgrade for his attacks already. And obviously mutas have no upgrade so far, that's why they went down so quick. So here comes another hatchery for Lalush, expanding again, just going crazy with his expansions. We're only at the 13-minute mark and already is on his 4th base. And we have a ton of Speedlings just kind of chill in the middle of the map. This is a lot of Speedlings, and I'm quite intrigued to see what he's going to do with this player, if he's going to try and get some surrounds, or... No, he is morphing a handful into Banelings, going to take down these disruptor rocks down here. Perhaps do some sort of flank. He could do it from both sides, but it looks like he's just going to try and catch him off guard and take him down from this passageway. It looks like Terran may be out of position. SjoW just moving out a little bit. Now Lalush is going to be doing a little bit more harass, trying to take down the supply depots. So there is a Thor here, going to be able to take out one muta, almost taking out a second. Going to be retreating quite a few units, but sees that there are more mutas over here. The Thor's a very nice addition to his army count for SjoW. Going to be taking out their mutas relatively easily. Now the army of Lalush is going to retreat. As you can see, there's a lot of Zerglings, a lot of Roaches and Banelings all making their way back, scampering across the map, and the 5th hatchery come down for Lalush. So very nice expanding, very aggressive expanding. Could cost him. I mean, he's had 183 food, so I don't think it's gonna be. Actually, I think it's pretty good timing to be getting that. To be fair, because you're gonna be maxed, and you need as many hatcheries as you can to remax. And yeah, so SjoW now gonna have to do some damage and gonna have to try and take out an expansion or two. But here comes some speedings of Lalush on the other side, so he's gonna be able to get into the base and gets past the Marauders pretty effectively, and he's going to go straight up to the expansion here, into the natural, taking out quite a few SCVs. One goes down, two goes down, and it's going to be a handful more. 3, 4, I believe. 4 did go down there, and a Marine did die, but very worth it. You know, just going to keep his opponent on the back foot a little bit. SjoW now realising he has to push out, but he sees the army ahead of him, and no, just gonna dance around the map a little bit here. Not gonna be doing anything too decisive yet. We do have more speedlings moving down to the bottom right hand corner here for Lalush. May take out the indestructible rocks would be a very good idea if he did so. Now this medvac has got units loaded in, so it looks like he's gonna be doing a drop, which I love this player, you know, just dropping the natural while attacking the front. Brilliant idea. So here comes the 2 medvacs full of Marines as he attacks the front here. So Hellion's getting in on the action, taking out a lot of stuff. Scan goes off to try and take off the creep tumors and see if there's any burrowed units, but the Roaches do see what's going on. There's Banelings and Infestors, so he's going to have to load up these units back into these medvacs ASAP, otherwise he's going to lose them. All Banelings are coming in there. Fungal growth did not go down, and he managed to get 1 medvac with a handful of Marines away, but another fungal growth going out here at the front, taking down all the Marines, but the Thors are doing so much damage to the Marines and the Marauders barely hanging on. They're going to be able to survive, and the Thors are the ones that are really doing the damage here for SjoW. Very nice unit composition he has. The Marauders trying to soak up as much damage from the Banelings as he can, and trying to do damage to the Roaches as well. But them Infestors, them sneaky little buggy Infestors, they're the ones that are doing the fungal growths, keeping the army in place for SjoW. So he's not going to be able to, you know, stem away from the Banelings anytime soon, because, well, they're going to be ensnared. That will be until, of course, the new patch comes in, which will change how the fungal growth mechanics work. But now these mutants getting a little bit ahead of themselves. Some Thors coming over and just saying, no, you're not going to take out this refinery just yet. And I should really repair that before it goes down. But could lose some gas there. 75 minerals, though, it's not cheap. But here we go, we're going to have another attack here. The stim goes off on the Marines and Marauders. So Thor's doing so much damage at the back. Fungal growth did go off with the medvac. One lonely medvac, I say, trying to repair as much as he can. Banelings trying to be morphed in, but they do take them out in time. So Terran doing such a good job here of trying to put pressure on the Zerg player. Now it's pretty even in the army count, as you can see. 182 for the Terran SjoW, 187 for Lalush. So both players playing very, you know, very macro oriented and doing very well in keeping their units high up in army count. But the thing is, the Terran has such a stronger army in terms of resources than Thors. Are just so good against Zerg. Going to be doing so much damage to some Hydras on the field as well. So fungal growth going off there. Going to be fungal growth and all the infantry. The Roaches getting a complete surround, and the Hydras doing so much damage to these units. But again, he's going to have to fall back to Lalush. I thought for sure that SjoW was going to fall there, but 2-2 upgrades on these Thors. Out of control, going to be able to take out so many units. More Thors as well coming down just to reinforce this army. If a couple of Thors will go down here, these Infestors getting in on the action, some Corruptors are on the field. Not too sure why the Corruptors are I'm not too sure why Corruptors are there. Maybe he's going to morph into Broodlords sometime soon, but more units being sent across by SjoW to reinforce the front lines. Marines and Marauders coming in, stemming up, taking off, maybe take off the infested Terran, will do, but more Zerglings come in, and these Banelings will be able to take out the rest, I do feel. And this Thor is going to have to retreat, because he is going to get surrounded, so he's going to have to retreat that Thor, try and repair him as quickly as he can. There's one SCV doing his best to keep that alive, and he does only just though. So as we can see, more units being sent over. Now this Marine has 2 attack upgrades and 1 armor, but no shield. It's very interesting to see that he didn't get the shield upgrade for these Marines. Let's have a look, see if it's on this way. It is not. We do, however, have armor upgrade for these for the Thors. So more upgrades have just been completed for the Thors. And let's just have a quick look about here. We do have this expansion going for SjoW. It's getting the planetary fortress on. Very nice idea to get this planetary fortress on this expansion when it's close to his opponent. But there are broodlords.